Hi everyone, welcome back to this channel again, and this video I really just want to focus on some of the settings, on the setup, some of the buttons that you can press to set up this VXG. So in the previous video we focusing on how to generate 5 different signals to be transmitted from one output on the VXG, but this video we're going to really focus on the setup button, some of the buttons over here, what does it do. So first of all, I'm going to introduce you the home button. So this is where how it looks like. So everything will be here, where you can set the on-off button, the RF output here, modulations, and from here, one thing that's different from this M9484C compared to the new 5186A is that we have this analog modulations available, just like the legacy type of signal generator. So as you can see, we have PM, FM, and also AM, and also pulse. So this pulse is just simple pulse output. So you can actually use this to generate a simple pulse, set the pulse width, the period, and whatnot. And every time go back to home, or you can actually see that when you click any of this, the setup is at the bottom of here, but it's only for channel 1. So if you're on channel 2, normally you just go back to home and then go back to channel 2, and then at the bottom part will be just channel 2. So that's for home button. And adjustment, you can actually add on IQ adjustment if you want to, skewing it and then make it bad, purposely to see how your device under test will respond. So this interferer, just a CW. You can add in noise also, AWGN, added white Gaussian noise, just to mess up the signal. You want to see how your device will respond. So the other thing is fader. I haven't tried this yet. I'm sure there's a lot of settings that you can try out over here. I haven't really gone through that, but who knows, in the future I might have a chance. So that's for home button, and of course this is just a back button, just like PC or even Android phone, just go back to the previous screen. And this is the recall save button. So mostly is to save the state of your setting. And this is where the apps are installed in the VXG. And let's go back to here. So again, this is where you can go through. So home button, and before we go into that part, so how do you turn on and off is over here. Just click, and then when you turn the color to green, if it's green it's on, if it's not green it's off. And then this is where you can check the current version of the firmware that you're using. And of course this is where you can find the help file. So it's a very useful interactive help file. Whatever you need to find is over here. And of course, if you can't find any answer from here, talk to your local Keysight support and you should be able to help out. So, and then there's a console, turn on both channels at one go, and if you have more than 2 channels, you can turn on together from here. And again, green button is your friend. If any time you see an error or warning on your device under test, I would suggest you go with preset. You might set the power too high, and then instead of finding this button, you can actually go straight to it. This green button, preset everything, you go back to default, and your device under test should be safe. Right, let's go to these 3 lines. Configure channel, this is where you can have coherent phase, multiple input, multiple output. So this is where you can do it. And then we go to connectors. It's just the input output at the back of the instruments. And this is how you set up the different type of triggering, the threshold, and skippy recorder if you want to. I did cover it in another video. It's from the spectrum analyzer, but it's the same concept. And this is in the VXG, so that every step that you click, start recording. For example, if I want to go to here, turn on, and then I turn on the modulations, turn off the modulations, then after that we can go back to here, I can stop recording. Stop recording. So these are the skippy command that you need to use to automate whatever you need to. And you can save the recording, then you can actually recall back. So if you have a certain sequence of steps that you want to implement wherever you're testing, instead of using state, because state will just, as it is, it won't go through step by step. In the event where your device needs to respond and then change something and then you put a delay, then you can use this step by step. So configure analyzer, this is where you are linking it to another analyzer for calibrations, for DPD, things like that, and it will help you to calibrate out the loss. So this is the way to do it. You just click change, and this is where you set the IP address, the test connections. One is connected and you are good to go. So currently I'm connected to my PXA analyzer just beside it, physical connections. When this is your configure launch, when you have multiple VXG, one is follower, one is leader, so this is just another setup. So switch your window, you just go to the window desktop and exit. Of course, it's exiting the software. So setting is where a lot of things that you can do. Alignment, reference, if you have external reference, so this is where you can set it to external or internal. And of course you can click back if you want to. And alignment, again, just an internal self-test. Trigger and sync, this is how you want to sync multiple analyzer, transmitter, the whole set of automated test equipment. They call it ATE. Then system informations, this is where you get the serial number, your model, your options, your IP address. Service is really just for self-test. If you suspect there's something wrong with this VXG, we do recommend to run a self-test. Just call Keysight Care team and they are able to guide you through step by step, and normally you need the log file just to verify whether it's still working fine, or we would suggest you to send it to our service center for service. So preference, yeah, this is just some of the setting of how it looks like. IQ waveform, so this is just some of the file format that you might need to use it as a reference. Let's say you created a MATLAB file to create the IQ waveform, so this is some of the format that you can choose. Then I will go to that, power on and preset, these are some of the settings. And factory preset is when you have problematic instruments, you can actually go back to factory reset. IQ configuration, this is where you set your visa address. So all this IP address, sorry, I have to cover it for safety concern. Just believe me, there are some IP address over here. So this IP address is depending on the Windows IP address setup. This VXG is a Windows machine. So to set that IP address, you have to go to the Windows and then come back to this one. And device list is just the external devices that you connected from there. So that's pretty much about it of all the buttons that you can press. So physically on the right side of the instruments, there's some buttons you can press. I won't go through that because with the camera it's hard to explain one by one. But if you're interested, you can actually look at the help file or the data sheet. You explain much more detail on that. If you really want me to go through the video so that you can have visual and audio, it makes you understand easier, put your request in the comment and I'll try to fit in between the project. So I hope you get something out of it. Thanks for watching.